Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, tonight we're talking about something big. The fate of a massive tech rally is literally hanging in the balance. We're diving headfirst into the AI memory sector's crazy growth and a showdown that seriously could change everything.
So right now, some tech stocks are just on a runaway train. They're being fueled by what people are starting to call an AI supercycle. This huge long-term period of growth. And we're talking about the companies that make the essential memory for all this AI stuff. Their stocks are just moving with some serious force.
All right, so let's really get into it, because you got to understand, this isn't just hype. It's not just market speculation. There are real fundamental things happening here. And today, March 18th, is a massive turning point. It could either pour gasoline on this rally or slam the brakes and bring the whole thing to a screeching halt.
So who's at the center of this whole storm? Well, there are two key players. The whole sector's moving. But these two, they perfectly show what's really going on here. We're talking about SanDisk and Micron.
You can almost think of them as two different but connected bets on where AI is going. You've got SanDisk, who are all about NAND flash memory. That's the storage that's probably in your phone or your laptop right now. Then you have Micron. They're more of a broad memory giant, and they're laser-focused on that super-duper fast memory that you absolutely need for training AI models.
And wow, this really shows you the kind of momentum we're talking about. Just this week, we've seen huge jumps in both stocks. SanDisk took off because of insane demand. And Micron, it's riding this massive wave of anticipation for its earnings report, which, by the way, is coming out later today.
So, what's really fueling this runaway train? Well, it boils down to a classic but absolutely massive supply and demand problem. The AI boom has created this bottomless pit of an appetite for memory, and the folks making it, they just can't keep up.
And if you want to get a sense of the scale here, just look at this one number. In its latest Q2 results, SanDisk's net income shot up, get this, 672% year over year. Nope, that's not a typo. That is the kind of mind-blowing growth that is driving this entire frenzy.
So the tech at the very heart of all this is something called high bandwidth memory, or HBM, and it is a total game changer. See, by stacking memory chips on top of each other, vertically, you get these incredible speeds. And that speed is absolutely non-negotiable for training those huge large language models, the brains behind things like ChatGPT. And the tech giants, they literally can't get enough of it.
Okay, and what's so interesting here is that this shows it's not just about what traders think is happening. This isn't just sentiment, no, this is a real physical shortage of the actual parts. Think about it. Micron's best, most advanced memory, it's already sold out for the next 2 years. And SanDisk's CEO? He's warning that their supply is going to be tight for even longer than that. This is a real deal supply crunch, and it has very real consequences.
All right, so when you have this kind of massive up and down movement, this volatility, it turns the market into a super high stakes game, especially for traders. When a stock is moving this fast, you've got huge opportunities for profit, sure, but you also have just enormous risks. And that's especially true in the world of options trading. So one strategy some traders are using is called a strangle, and it's basically a bet that a stock is going to stay inside a certain price range. You set up these two goalposts by selling a call option way above the current price and a put option way below it. The bet is that the stock price won't go past either of those posts.
Okay, now check out this real-world example with SanDisk. A trader set their upper goalpost at $1,060 and the lower one way down at $400. But here's the problem. The stock is already screaming its way up to around $725. All of a sudden, that upper goalpost is starting to look uncomfortably close, right?
And that, right there, puts this whole position squarely in what traders call the danger zone. Because a big move up from here, especially after earnings come out, that could cause huge problems for this kind of bet. We're talking about potentially forcing the trader to buy the stock at a way higher price. Ouch.
And believe me, the risk is absolutely real. Just look at these numbers from the past year. The industry average, it doubled. Pretty good. But Micron, it's up 400%. And SanDisk, it's up an almost unbelievable 1,100%. That kind of explosive growth creates this powerful fear of missing out, or FOMO, that can just keep pushing and pushing a stock higher, right past those goalposts.
Okay, so all of this brings us to tonight's main event, because after the market closes, Micron is going to report its quarterly earnings. And you can bet the entire sector is holding its breath.
And this is really the crucial point here. Because the futures of these companies are so tightly connected, they're all affected by the same supply and demand stuff. Whatever Micron reports tonight is going to have an immediate and probably dramatic impact on SanDisk and all the others. They're all basically riding the same wave.
So analysts have pretty much mapped out 3 different ways this could go for the whole sector, all based on this one report. Scenario 1, the blowout. Micron beats all the estimates, raises their guidance, and SanDisk could just soar past $800 overnight. Scenario 2, the cool down. They beat estimates, but their guidance for the future is just flat. That could trigger a sell the news kind of pullback. And scenario 3, the miss. Any hint that they're having supply chain problems, and we could see a painful sector-wide correction.
And so that leaves us with the billion-dollar question, right? Is this a truly historic, multi-year supercycle, or is it a super bubble that's just about to pop? This one earnings call tonight, it could be the thing that tells us if we're in a real tech boom driven by real demand, or if it's the pin that finally pricks the bubble. The stage is set, the players are ready, all we can do now is wait.